this is my pitch presentation for my FMP. This is the About Me section. Basically mentioned here about how I'm not going to be doing animation, I'm going to be doing a games design. My strengths are probably creativity and coming up with ideas for games. Games that inspired me to want to do games design. Overwatch and Black Ops. Black Ops was the first kind of game that really I got hooked into gaming. Played it a lot. Played it probably a bit too much. And yeah. And then Overwatch is probably the same, but more recently. And that's probably where I'd want to go. My aims, by the end of the project, I want to be able to make enemies having attacking and blocking moves. I also want to have a game with 3 levels. I also want to have a couple of well-designed characters in the sense of they look cool, they have the right moves to kind of match what they are. Maybe different damaging, kind of like that. So that's what I want for my aims for the end of the project. My goals and aspirations. At this point, I'm still thinking about where I want to go. Probably uni, but I'm not really sure yet. It's something I'm struggling to kind of accept. Maybe I might have to do uni, and I don't know. So I'm going to do a bit more research on it and make a decision soon. What job I'd love to have? I'd love to work with the Overwatch team in any kind of section. I would just love to work on the Overwatch game with Blizzard. It'd be amazing. I love the games that they make there, all of them. So, but mainly Overwatch. I'd want to work on the Overwatch team. So that's that. And then what skills are important for this job? Having a passion for gaming in general, and passionate for the game that you're going to be making or helping create. So I think that's important. Having a good work ethic, that is important. Making sure you want to do the project you're working on, and then also practical skills like Blender and all of that, and having maybe not the same programs they use, but having basic knowledge with programming in general will just help with that. So I think that's useful. My project. What's that mean? My project is a horror-based game on a nightmare I actually used to have as a kid. It's going to be top-down, and it'll be based on games like Skyrim and Amnesia, where you've got monsters following you around and kind of chasing you, and then also kind of like Skyrim with the attacking moves and all of that, and kind of also the time period as well. So it'll be a bit like Witcher or Game of Thrones kind of time period. Techniques I'll be using, I'll be need to making enemy AI, kind of doors and pathways to other layouts, and then also attacking moves. What resources I'll need: Construct and Aseprite, and art styles from the people that made those games, art styles from people that made 2D games, all of that, and we're getting all of that. It's all in my research page. My scope, I definitely think I have time to finish this. I did a games jam, and I did the design bit in a week, so I definitely think I can do the game making in the second week. I definitely can get it done. 1 to 2 weeks of planning, and then 2 weeks to make. That's how long I think it's going to take in general. Again, how I know I'm going to achieve it is I did the games jam where I worked with a team, but this time I'll be by myself, but I have probably another week to make it, so I think I can definitely do that. Project milestones. So the things I need to get done in week 1 of the practical, I need to make sure I have the main layout first, where you'll be starting the game, and if you die you'll go back. The second day I'll need to have another layout where the main kind of event will happen, and I need to get that all mapped out and made sure that the main things I need in there, not monsters or things facing around, like special rooms, and then also the last room that you'll need to go to get into the next level. And then day 3 I'll need to have the last day, kind of the last layout done, and then day 4 I need to kind of I need to have pickups like keys, and I need to have monsters. Then on the next day I can then kind of work on the attacking moves, and then the week 2 will be the design bit. I need a basic map design. It shouldn't take me too long. That should be quite easy. And then depending on how long that actually takes, the character design and animation can continue on the day 1, or if it takes me all day to do the map design, then I will do that on day 2, and then I need to do some monster animations and maybe a menu kind of design, but I don't think that'll take me much longer than 3 or 4 days. And then any hours I've got left will be working on the game, but that first week will be solely working on the game, and then the second week will be getting the animations done. And once they're all done, if I've got time and the game's not properly finished, or if there's something I want to add, then I'll go back and add something then. These are all my research sources that I've been looking at. I'll name a couple. Hyperlight Drifter, which is a game that came out not too long ago. It's kind of like what I want to base my game off, not theme-wise, but the way the game plays. So you've got monsters running around, and you kind of go to different maps and stuff, and it looks really cool. What else did I mention? I mentioned I looked back into kind of the Skyrim thing. I looked into Viking kind of armor and weapons. I also looked at the Game of Thrones and Witcher series and games, because they're quite similar to Skyrim and they're a bit more recent, and I think they might also help me. And the same with the Game of Thrones books and TV series. They've got kind of cool creatures and fight scenes and armor, so I think that will help me a lot with that. My evaluation and reflection. How am I going to keep track of the progress in this project? I'll be keeping a diary every day of what I do, and then I'll evaluate and reflect on that once I've done that day, and kind of see what I could have done better and see what I did well, and then kind of throughout the week probably be improving on that. How I know the project is a success. When I've got a game that I want to play and I want to show off. With scary monsters is on another part. I actually want the game to be quite scary, not to the point where people don't want to play it, but I want it to be kind of like not a jump scare, but like you kind of want to get away from it. If a character's not scary enough, then people will want to just attack it and they won't really care about it. But if it's scary enough, people will want to get away from it, and that's the whole point of the game. And also the last one is the game actually works. It's like a finished game. But I mean, that's kind of like my own kind of goal. That's just something I want to do. I want to finish a game by myself. I haven't done that yet. I haven't finished a proper game by myself with animations and all of that. So that's kind of a little personal goal of mine. Proof of concept. This link goes to a game I made. It's a top-down Halo shooter kind of game. It's basically what I'm doing now, and there's a couple designs down there as well. We've got an Elite from Halo, and then Master Chief, if you didn't know who that was. That's the end of my show.